Hello, hello. Good afternoon, everybody. How are we doing? I hope you guys are all doing well. My name is Jason Krutzky. It is a great pleasure to be with you all here this afternoon. We've got Tesla earnings coming up here in about, 30 minutes? And we are just going to be hanging out and watching the market's reaction to those earnings. Now, I don't know if any of you guys were able to tune in for the Twitter Spaces that I hosted a couple of hours ago. We had some awesome guests. They gave us some pretty interesting feedback. The big takeaway. What's up, Tammy? How are you? I hope you're well. The big takeaway that I got from pretty much all the guests, and like it or not, everybody kind of had the same sentiment, and that was we need to just sit on our hands and wait and see. And, you know, different people had different opinions about why that's the case. Our friend Sarah Sabatino, the strat sniper, you know, one thing that she pointed out, she's a strat focused trader. Stratters are all about price action. And one thing that stratters do not like to see, or maybe not that they don't like to see, but one thing that will keep a stratter on the sidelines is an inside bar. And what do we have on the monthly here? We have an inside bar. That means that we are trading in between the high and the low of the previous month. And so what that means is essentially that there is no trend. The price action is going sideways. And so if there's no trend, we cannot really take a trade. Buonasera, Giuseppe, how's it going, my friend? I hope you're doing well too. It's great to see you back. What is it? It's probably about 8 o'clock for you? I believe you were here on Tuesday, and I believe you said you're tuning in from France, maybe? Is that what you said? I can't quite recall. But thank you guys all so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. Were any of you guys able to tune in for that space? Because it was really interesting. You know, we had a gentleman who was supposed to come on. I was really looking forward to talking to him because he's kind of a Tesla fundamentals expert, and he never showed up. And I'm really still kind of bummed about it. I had so many questions for him. So, but we got a lot of technical views, and kind of the big idea on the technical side was that we kind of just need to sit on our hands. So I don't know how many of you guys are planning on trading or are in positions in Tesla. What's up, Brian Moore? How's it going? Hope you're good. One thing I want to do to start out today is I've got this created, and I want to give you guys the opportunity to win a little something, something from your friends here at TrendSpider. This is a guess the close form. So if you're interested, awesome, right on. Yeah, I thought so, Giuseppe. If you're interested in winning 1 month of free TrendSpider, fill out this form. Guess the open for tomorrow. This is what price will Tesla be trading at tomorrow when the market opens at 9:30 Eastern time. What will be the price? So add your email, add your guess, and the closest guess is going to win 1 month free of TrendSpider. Now, if you are already a TrendSpider subscriber, we will just tack this on to the end of your account. If you're on a monthly account, we'll give you a free month. If you're on a yearly, we'll tack on an extra month at the end. So you will get the free month if you are already a TrendSpider user. If you're not already a TrendSpider user, you just get a free month. So where's the form? Just click on that document. Click on the link, Tammy, just above in the chat. I've linked it for you. And let me know if you have any issues with it. I've only created a very small handful of these Google forms to fill out, so hopefully I did it properly. Okay, cool. You got it. So what are you guys thinking? Where are your heads at? I'm curious to know. What do you guys think Tesla's going to do today? I've got a bunch of tools that we can kind of take a look at and see. You know, on just the chart side, we'll take a look at the charts first. Actually, there's a really great thread. If you guys follow TrendSpider on Twitter, there's a really great thread that we posted earlier today that's got just an awesome breakdown of like a lot of different technical components of the stock. One thing that thread highlights is essentially the range that we're trading in. You know, we've got a very clear kind of symmetrical triangle forming. I wonder if, yeah, well, actually it's a couple of different triangles, but pretty clear little triangle forming here. You've got an anchored VWAP pinch from the January lows and the February highs here. So from the swing low and the swing high, you got price stuck in between this anchored VWAP. So whenever you see these anchored VWAP pinches, they, you know, the longer they kind of go on, the more powerful the move out of them can be. They do not suggest the direction of the move. They just suggest that, you know, price is really getting pretty tight here. On the kind of more, well, I guess bigger time frame technical side, you do have this monthly support resistance flip area kind of in here around this $200. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me brighten it up a little bit. There you go. This $200 area was, you know, obviously pretty clear support back in June of 21. We made new highs. We came down, we tested and held in May of 2022, and now we've lost it. And now, you know, old support becoming new resistance, just a classic flip. Gonna pop one way or the other, Jason. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what it feels like. On the seasonality side, if we look at kind of the seasonality over the past 13 or so years, seasonably, we're coming into a weak month. May is seasonally a weak month, but then June, strongest month of the year for this name over the past 13 years. So that's kind of interesting. One theory is to, you know, buy long based positions or long bias positions when there is seasonal weakness and sell it into seasonal strength. And now whether or not it'll play out, we don't know, but interesting seasonal weakness next month, followed by the strongest month of the year, which is June for this name. On the data flow, I've got this thing filtered by just all of the earnings results for Tesla here over the past, you know, just all of the earnings results. And man, the past 13 or so have been pretty strong with just positive EPS growth and upgrades and things like that. So, you know, lately over the past, 2 years and a quarter, Tesla has done quite well on the earnings side. Now we can totally dig into this a little bit deeper. Like, for example, we can go into the strategy tester. We can test and see, you know, how does this thing tend to perform after earnings, right? So I'll say earnings dates today. And then for our exit, we'll just use something arbitrary like a period of time. So we're using candle period here. And so we're entering essentially, if earnings are today, we'll enter on the next candle, and then we'll close out this trade 30 candles later. And I'm going to go to a daily here and just kind of see how this thing tends to do 30 days after earnings. And generally speaking, I mean, it doesn't perform poorly, you know, relative to the asset. It doesn't come close, but 43 positions, average wins about 19, almost 19%. Average loss is about 10%. So your average return is 6.5. Risk reward ratio is pretty decent, 1.81. Not a terrible strategy just to be long post earnings for 30 days. If we look back at the past couple of them, just going to remove these guys real quick. So it looks like you had a winning trade on the previous earnings back in January. It was a loser. The prior quarter, you had a winner, loser. Sometimes I just like to see, you know, if you have multiple trades that went the same way, if you have 3, 4, 5, 6 winners in a row, or if you have 3, 4, 5, 6 losers in a row. Michael, Tesla earnings have not happened yet. Did they buy any Bitcoin? I don't know. But we've got earnings coming up here in about 20 minutes. You guys filling out that form? Get your guesses in. I'm going to give you guys until I am live, until I am not live any longer. As soon as the live closes down, the opportunity to guess the open tomorrow closes down as well. So if you're interested in winning a free month of TrendSpider, do fill out that form. It is linked just above in the chat. Michael, where are you located that you're just waking up? Are you in Hawaii? Perhaps? Or somewhere near there? I'm still curious to know Oz. What's Oz? Is that New Zealand? No. I don't know. 5:40 a.m. Yikes, that's early. Australia. Okay, got it. Where in Australia are you? Winter time for you guys now, yeah? It's one place I've never been. I've never been to Australia. I really want to go one day. What are you guys thinking? I've got no feedback here from y'all. North Queensland. Right on. I need to look on a map and see exactly where that is. What are you guys thinking for Tesla here? I'm really kind of curious what y'all's thoughts are. Portugal. Morgana. What's up, Morgana? Thank you for tuning in. It's good to see you. Living in endless summer. 10 degrees Celsius is cold. What is that in Fahrenheit? I'm in the States, so I don't really know the equation. We were talking 50 degrees Fahrenheit. That's actually, depending on where you are, that can kind of be kind of chilly. That's a beautiful spring day where I am, but that might be kind of chilly elsewhere. We had a good group of guests on the space. One of our guests, our friend Mel, she's from Flowmetrics. Flowmetrics? I kind of feel like I got it wrong when we were talking about it. Hold on. Let me make sure. No, that's not it. Florenzics, my bad. And she was saying that, I mean, Mel is kind of an options expert. So I really wanted to get her thoughts on how the options market was positioning. I know that the implied move is something like 7.8%. So pretty big range for the implied move. And I was asking her what her thoughts were on how the options market was viewing Tesla earnings for today. And she told me that essentially that Tesla is one stock because the options market is so, I guess, volatile for Tesla. It's one that she does not really watch because of that. There isn't, she said there isn't a lot of understanding that can be derived from watching options flow on Tesla, which I found to be very interesting considering it's one of the, most popular momentum, maybe the most popular momentum stock that exists. I don't know if you guys know a more popular one, you could tell me. But I thought that was really interesting that she said that she doesn't pay a ton of attention to Tesla flow, options flow for that particular reason. On the unusual options side here in TrendSpider, I only see like a couple of, like very clear, very large orders. This one in particular, this 366.70 puts for expiry in June. And it looks like this is like a $4.5 million in premium order. This was made, I believe, yesterday. What day is today? Today's the 19th. So this was yesterday. This is an order that came in yesterday for $4.5 million. What did you work out about electric cars, Michael? See, I really wanted to talk to the gentleman who didn't show up because he's the Tesla fundamental expert. He had the opinion, or he has the understanding about the deeper detail of what's going to drive these earnings results, margins and net profit, and like one thing a lot of people seem to be talking about is this idea of, or is the idea of that they're reducing the prices of a handful of their cars, and they've kind of come off these prices quite a bit, which is interesting. There are some people that say that maybe it's because they're finding profitability elsewhere, so they're able to come off the price of the cars. There are others that say they're having trouble moving cars, and so they're having to reprice them to move them. I'm not sure that I have an opinion. I'm so much more of a technical person, technical trader. The fundamentals of these things have a tendency to just completely pass me by. But I'm curious what you guys think. There's 50 of y'all here, and I haven't heard a single opinion about what you guys think Tesla's going to do here in 15 minutes. And I'm really curious to know. I will tell you this, though. Regardless of what Tesla does, we're going to watch it. It's going to be fun to watch. Eric, we got one opinion. We got a beat. Now, the question is, you can beat and the price of the stock still fail. You can miss and the price of the stock still go higher. So you think they're going to beat. Do you think that the stock's going to sell off, or do you think the stock's going to gain from here? One thing that I can assure you, regardless of what happens with the stock, like I say, we're going to have a good time watching it. And also, I'm going to hook you guys up with a pretty cool little strategy for Tesla that you can utilize, specifically if you're a TrendSpider user. It's going to be a lot easier for you. But if you're not a TrendSpider user, you could still look at the strategy. I'll still kind of like walk through what the strategy is. And you can take advantage of it if you want to. But I'm going to save that for the end. So if you want to see a pretty sweet little strategy on Tesla, that you might want to take advantage of in the future, you might want to utilize for your own trading, I'm going to hook you up with it after we know a little bit more about what's going on with the stock, after we've got the earnings announcement. All right, so we're getting some opinions coming in here. Mike Howard says it's a beat, but the stock still falls. All right. Michael, if Tesla didn't buy Bitcoin this period, crypto going down is confirmed. Interesting. Will they? What's up, Sonia? Hope you're well. They just, hold on. Nightbot, I still need to fix this. Your target is 163.25. We're trading 181. So you're looking for them to break these recent lows, huh? So you're looking for like just a swipe of the lows, Sonia. Interesting. All right. Eric Miller, you think that they'll beat, but the stock falls for a few days afterwards, go up? All opinions, of course. Yes, they're all opinions. We understand. What's up, Amber? You say a beat and then a sell-off. All right. Interesting. Jason Smith, what's up, my man? You think it's going to soar? Your target's 230. All right. So essentially, you're talking about going back and testing this little gap, huh? There's a little gap. Oh, there's not a gap in there. I thought there was a gap, but essentially going back and testing these November 2022 highs. All right. I like it. I like it. Have you guys filled out this form? If you've not filled out the form, let me give it to you again. Fill out this form for a chance to win 1 free month of TrendSpider. Low H. Sell off and bounce back, kind of like Netflix yesterday. That was pretty intense, huh? Went 330 to 290 to 340 in what, like a couple of hours? Pretty intense. Headline was bad, but, and again, like I said, I'm not a fundamentals guy, but it was interesting to talk to my guests today on the show because they all kind of said the same thing, at least the ones that were paying attention to Netflix in particular. said, all the talk was bad, but the underlying the numbers were pretty good. Subs up and profits and things. So Romo, what's Romo? Something of missing out. We got about 10 minutes here. I believe that they're actually announcing at 4:05 Eastern time. So maybe more like 15 minutes. Regret. I've never heard of Romo before. Regret of missing out. Yeah, don't we all? I mean, if it had continued lower, then you wouldn't regret it, right? What do I think, Morgana? I don't know. I really don't know. Um, the what I heard, what I've read, like before I do these Twitter Spaces, because I'm talking to people that obviously are quite a bit smarter than I am, experts in their field and such. And so I lean pretty heavily on their opinions. I think a lot about what they have to say, and I also kind of do a bit of research ahead of time and kind of just read up on what folks are saying. And it kind of feels like this is going to be a very fundamental situation for Tesla. Like, this issue about profitability, are they going to meet the profitability that they said they were going to meet, the margin requirements that they said they were going to meet? I guess they forward guided, but they forward guided higher than 20% gross margin. I'm speaking a little bit outside of my my understanding of things, but I've got a bunch of notes here. Let me see what I wrote on my notes. CFO guided they maintain 20% gross margin. It seems like this number is really important. And the question is why are they reducing the price of these cars? Are they reducing the price of the cars because they're becoming more profitable elsewhere? Are they reducing the price of the cars because they're having trouble moving them, selling them? I don't know. I really don't know. And the fact that we're sitting in such a, like I mentioned kind of at the top, on the monthly side, we're sitting at a really important support resistance area, right? That 200, 205, 210, just in here seems really important, just because it was such important support in the previous years. If we can't get up and over that, it seems pretty problematic, right? So that's the first thing that I would be kind of hunting for, is like at least get a move and a hold above 200. I don't have an opinion about what they're going to do though, because again, I don't really follow Tesla earnings that much. Of course, I pay attention to the stock, but the stock has just been going sideways essentially for, 2 months, 2.5 months. It's hard to have an opinion about which way it's going to break. I mean, it's pretty evenly favoring either side of the symmetrical triangle. It's hanging out just above this anchored VWAP from those January lows. So all of our yearly buyers are in the money right now. I could kind of see both things happening, kind of what Sonia suggested, with maybe coming down and breaking these lows, these 164 lows, and then maybe reversing, coming back and testing highs, 220, 230. I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, so 8-1 cap, EV tax cuts, but this is getting, they're kind of shutting some of that stuff down, right? It's just for US automakers now. Is that right? I believe I heard something about that. So Jason, all right, you think that they're reducing because they can, based on reduced cost of production and economy of scales, but still, yeah. So that's That's the bullish take on the reduction of price, right? That's what all the bulls, all the folks who are bullish on Tesla, that's what they're all saying. That's the reason for the reduction of price, is that they've found efficiencies elsewhere. Like one of the notes I had, they were talking about Berlin and Austin factories are the amount of cars that they're producing right now are dramatically lower than maybe the amount of cars that they'll be producing in a short time from now, 6 months, 9 months, a year. J-Man, what time is the announcement? The announcement is scheduled for 4:05. Now, if you've ever watched a Tesla live stream, like an Investors Day live stream or something like that, you know that they are historically, they're very late often. So, I don't know if there are hard rules around the time that you have to announce. Like if you say you're going to announce at 4:05, do you have to announce it? Do you have to announce at 4:05, or can you announce at 4:15 or 4:30? But I'm told it's 4:05. Buying Sigma Lithium. I don't know anything about Sigma. Is it publicly traded? Let's see. SGML. Excuse me, guys. Yeah, depending on depending on the futures account that you have. I know that some of like the funded trader ones, they'll let you keep it open until 5 or like a minute before 5. All right, Sonia, we're about to find out. We're about to find out. Sonia, you are No, Jason, it's not the waiting around making me tired. I've been up a long time today. I did not sleep very well last night, if I'm completely honest. But we had a lot going on today. Yeah, I don't know anything about Sigma. I've not heard. Let's see if there's anything on news here about this. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything in news about it. Doesn't mean that there aren't rumors. Doesn't mean that it won't happen, but I would think that if there was any substance to that rumor, that somebody would be talking about it. That there would be some sort of news article or something about it. I'm not really seeing anything here. Oh, hold on. Here we go. So, Sigma Lithium short seller says, forget about the Tesla buyout. Yeah. So this is from what? This is from March 21st. Tesla signs new EV component deal. Tesla is driving Sigma Lithium stock higher. Considering a bid. There you go. Okay, so here it is. All right, Sonia, good luck to you. We're about to find out if Sonia has the targets right. I'm going to head back over to Tesla here. Have you guys filled out the Google Sheet? Any trouble with that at all? I like that little green wavy guy, Michael. And I'm going to go to a small time frame here. Ooh, selling off into the end of the day. How quickly will we post the earnings results? That's actually a good question. I'm not exactly certain. I mean, we can throw up the news. We'll know quick. But admittedly, I'm on Twitter here too, and Twitter will be instant. Yeah, you know, I mean, it's for me personally, I'm not trading this, right? I'm completely hands off. So this strategy is just an earnings date strategy. It's just we buy essentially I'll zoom in so you can kind of see it. So you have earnings, you buy the following day, you hold for 30 days. That is, it's just a very simple idea. But I do have a pretty cool little strategy that I want to share with you guys here once we get the earnings results. That's specifically for Tesla. That has nothing to do with earnings. It's just a cool little strategy that performs pretty well that I want to share. But as far as like getting a read on being in the know first, I don't know that there are very few people that are gonna. The people that are in the know first, you're gonna see it in the price action. And since you can have instances like what you saw yesterday with Netflix, where the instant first headline was terrible news, miss, and then all of a sudden you have a reversal. So the stock loses 10%, it gains back to 10%, and even ends up closing over highs. Over yeah. I mean, exactly. Puts got wrecked. Yeah, it's hard to be on the right side of these things. So unless you have some sort of like deep insider information. Yep. So I got after hours turned on here. I don't think that we've got a result yet. I think that they're just bouncing it. Everybody who's here, thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate it. If you're interested in giving the TrendSpider platform a go, we are giving away a 1 month subscription to TrendSpider. All you got to do is fill out this form. You got to guess the open tomorrow. Guess the opening price of Tesla tomorrow morning. Closest guess wins a free month of TrendSpider. Let me also hook you guys up while I'm here. If you're interested in TrendSpider, I've got a 35% discount code that you can utilize right there as well. Looks like we might have earnings results. Ooh. A little bit of a salt. Well, so volatile. I'm going to turn off the strat tester here for a moment so we can just keep focused on this bad boy. 11.4% operating margin in Q1, 2.7 billion GAAP operating income in Q1, 2.5 billion GAAP net income in Q1, 2.9 billion non-GAAP net income in Q1. Operating cash flow of 2.5 billion. 0.2 billion increase in cash and investments in Q1 to 22.4 billion. Cybertruck factory tooling on track, producing alpha versions. Model Y was the best-selling vehicle in Europe in Q1. Model Y was the best-selling vehicle in the US in Q1. X pickups. Just reading what I'm seeing here. Kind of muted so far. I mean, it's volatile, but it's pretty muted, all things considered. Okay, so I am Jason. I'm just on Twitter reading feeds of folks that I follow. I'm not seeing a whole heck of a lot though on numbers. Okay, so let's see here. EPS 85 cents versus estimated 86 cents. Revs 23.3 billion versus estimated 23.5 billion. So that looks like a slight miss, a double miss. Still sees production of 1.8 million vehicles. Yeah, so just slight misses across the board. Michael, you know it, man. Of course the 1 minute charts are emotional. I mean, still though, these were very, very slight misses. These are not crazy misses. Talking about 1 cent on earnings. Revs missing by 0.02 billion. Well, I'm seeing a couple of different numbers there, but 23.33 billion. Expectation was 23.35. Some people are saying expectation was 23.37. I'm seeing slightly different numbers. Yeah, so choppy. And that's why we stay on the sidelines and we let price kind of work itself out. It'll always work itself out. But I mean, if you're bullish on Tesla here, this is pretty compelling. It's really not selling off yet. I don't know if Sonia's going to get her number here. She's one of our loudest, most vocal, not loudest, most vocal, most opinionated viewers. She's always got very specific price targets that she comes in with. And Jason, you're right. Yeah, Algo's kind of seemingly not sure what to do here. And maybe what they do is they just crunch both sides. You know, I don't know exactly how things were positioned, but they said a 7.8% implied move. Let's just say from high of day today. Well, I guess that's not high day. Oh, it is high day. Yeah, from high day, you only hit 4. Of course, it's very early in the game here. Anything could happen. But very clearly, the market's not too bummed about those numbers. Not enough weed in the world to contain my head on a 1 second chart. Hey, while I've got a bunch of you guys here, can you guys hook me up with something real quick? Can you give me a like and potentially a subscribe to the channel? I would be very appreciative. All of those likes and subscribes, believe it or not, they actually go quite a long way for a fellow like me. So if you're enjoying this and you would like to see me continue to do these, likes and subscribes do very much help me out, and I very much appreciate them. So thank you to everybody who is hooking it up. I see it. Have you guys filled out this form yet? Guess the close, or I'm sorry, guess the open. Guess the open for tomorrow. Chad, I appreciate you, brother. Lo, I appreciate you as well. Thank you so much, you guys. We need... Tammy, right on. Sonia, you're back. I thought you left. If you guys have not yet, I'm going to copy this real quick. Send it back over to you. Fill this out. Guess the open for tomorrow. I'm going to be picking the closest guess. Everybody who guessed pre-earnings, I guess better. You've got more of a chance if you guessed post-earnings. I probably should have closed it before they announced, but 146. Chad, are you? Tell me, be honest. Are you positioned for Tesla to hit 146 in the near term? I mean, it's a long night ahead. Yes. Oh, man. Chad, good luck to you, man. 300 shares short? Okay. Well, good luck, dude. I hope, I mean, I wanted to work out for everybody. Daniel, you're saying 165. Daniel, did you fill out that form? To be entered in to win, you got to fill out the form. I know I used to do it where I would just like write everybody's name on the chart, but that was insane. And so now we have Google Forms for these sorts of things. $163.25. Sonia. She's committed. You might get it. I don't know. You might get it. They're definitely not really bouncing it here. They're not really selling it off too much just yet. I mean, it's a little bit of a sell-off. 5% from the lows or from the highs. Implied move was 7.8. While we've got a few minutes left, let me walk you guys through real quick, and we'll stay on the chart. We'll keep an eye on it. We're not going anywhere. I want to share this with you, though. If you're a TrendSpider user, you might have received this email already. So this is a RVOL reversal strategy. It is stupidly simple, and that's kind of what I love about it, is that it is stupidly simple. What this is looking for on the entry side, we're using the 15-minute time frame. We're testing back pretty far. Ooh, they're selling off a little bit now. Sonia, it's looking a little bit better for you. What this is looking for, there's just two conditions for our entry. You've got an RVOL greater than 3.5. What is RVOL? Some of you guys probably know exactly what RVOL is. If you know, I'm sorry to explain it to you again. But for those of you who don't, it's short for relative volume. And so it's comparing the volume on a 15-minute candle to the average volume. If on average, a 15-minute candle has 100,000 shares of volume, and the current candle has 100,000 shares of volume, it's going to have an RVOL value of 1 because it has the exact same average relative volume as the average. If you have a higher, an elevated RVOL reading, now they're starting to sell it off, huh? If you have an elevated RVOL reading, that means that there's above average volume. So 3.5 RVOL means 3.5 times the average volume. That would mean If on average you have 100,000 shares of volume on a 15-minute candle, then the candle that we're looking for here has 350,000 shares of volume. So just 3.5 times the average. And then the only other condition here is that price closes below the ADMA. And we're using, in this case, we're using the ADMA as just like a very simple trend signal. So it's below the ADMA, and we've got this like big pop of volume. So the idea is that this big pop of volume has come in below a short-term moving average. That big pop of volume might be suggesting that a reversal is afoot, right? On the exit side, we've got a couple of different exits. We've got a stop loss, we've got a take profit, we've got a trail stop, and then we've got a certain number of candles have passed. And these are all just values that are derived from, they're just means of managing our trade. And in actuality, they're derived from one of the tools in the strategy tester. But when we run this test, it's going to flip to the 15-minute here on Tesla, and I'm going to go do that. When we run this test on Tesla, I mean, pretty impressive performance over the last year. 47% gain versus essentially the opposite, a 47% loss on the asset. So if you had bought and held, you lost 47%. If you utilize this strategy over the past year, you gained 47%. Pretty awesome little strategy. Average win, 4.7%. Average loss, 1.83, for an average return of 0.72, and a risk reward ratio, pretty darn good, almost 3 on the risk reward. So what I want to do is I want to share this with you guys. I need to make my own little copy here. We're going to do this. Oops. There we go. So I'm just creating a little link for all of my TrendSpider users in the house. Play around with this. The idea here is that strategies don't have to be difficult to be profitable. What does the winner get? Eco Signal. The winner of the Guess the Open gets 1 free month of TrendSpider. Go back to a 1 minute here for you guys. Here we go. We're back to it. Very, very simple strategy, but a very profitable strategy as well. And yeah, that's the point I'm trying to get across, is you don't have to have some sort of really intense strategy, something super complex to do well in the markets. You just have to play around. And that's what strategy tester is all about. That's what it really allows you to do. Play around. Try different things. Try different stop loss values. Try different take profits. Try different entries and exits. And try this strategy on different names too. You could shuffle through your watch list and it'll test on whatever name you happen to be looking at on your chart. So if you're a TrendSpider user, click on that link. It's going to bring you to this page. Click login and import, and then subscribe, and then it'll live in your strategy tester. And you can play around with it. So what do we think, guys? I'm curious to know. I want to look at this. I really want to look at this document and see kind of where y'all's heads are at. Only 12 of y'all? Man. So we got guesses from 224.20 down to 150.63. It's a pretty wide range. $75 range. We're trading at 173 right now. Well, only 12 of you guys in the running so far. Eco, do you have an account with us already? Hellveger says 178. Tradomat says Tesla won't be doing the Netflix move. It's kind of doing it so far. Let's see if it can gain back and make a new high relative to today's. There's a lot of time left in this day, though, Tradomat. You still got 3.5 hours. And then you got all morning tomorrow. Eco, well, if you want to give a guess for the Open, guess the Open tomorrow. Give you a free month if you're the winner. 88 DHO, what's up, man? Good to see you here again. Thank you for the follow on Twitter. If anybody is interested in following me on Twitter, I have to admit I'm maybe a little bit boring of a follow. But if you want to give me a follow on Twitter, you want to keep in the know about what my comings and goings, my Twitter handle is @KrutzkyTrades. Really, what I'm here for and why I promote my Twitter handle is because I want to be accessible to you guys if you have any questions for me at any time. So if you have questions for me at any point, TrendSpider related, I'm happy to answer those. Hit me up. DMs stay open. What is Bayern01? What does that mean? Cheers, 88. I appreciate you saying so. Kind fella. Soccer score. How do you mimic it? Desmond, what are you referring to? Are you talking about like my colors, the colors that I use? I can hook you up with those if you want them. Do I do trade ideas live on YouTube? Well, I guess it's relatively speaking. Sometimes I don't necessarily give out trade ideas. I definitely do my fair share of scanning live. And as far as scanning is concerned, you could look at that as trade ideas. I don't make any sort of recommendations for trades, though. If that's what you're after, unfortunately, that is not what I do. Chad. Okay, so Desmond. Overall setup, I think what you're referring to, because, you know, the setup is the setup, right? Like I've got RSI down here. Not too many indicators. I've got a couple of items on the right-hand side. So these are just widgets. And all of your widgets are available here on the far right-hand side. So to add a widget, you just select it and then choose whether you want it to be on the visible column or a new column. So I've just got seasonality, analyst estimates, news. And then as far as the colors are concerned, this is the dark theme. You can adjust that here. Click on this little person icon in the top right. So I'm in the dark theme. And then for the specific colors, the candles, the background color of the chart, etc. If you click on the little cog icon here, here are the colors. My background color, so these are all actually custom HTML codes, but I can hook you up with them. This is this like purpley blue dark color. Here is the code for you on that. Green candles, here's the code for the color of green candles. Hopefully you can kind of see how I'm doing this. I'm just inputting those hex codes here. And then the red candles have a dark border, but this is the main color. I think that eventually we will make it so that you can share like skins, share your chart skin. But at this time, unfortunately, I cannot do that. So that's how I would do it. Desmond, if you want to mimic the vibes. You guys, I am coming up on time here. And I want to offer any last minute questions. Michael, I agree. I think the shared skins would be sweet. So how hard is it to build a real-time scanner with only NYSE and NASDAQ stocks that break out on an hourly basis on Sniper Wicks? What's a Sniper Wick? Desmond, feel free to a couple of things. Feel free to hit me up on Twitter anytime. Give me a follow. If you have any questions about the platform as you're kind of working your way through it, feel free to hit me up with those. And also, right here, down in the bottom right-hand corner, excuse me, down in the right-hand corner of your chart view, there's a little button that says Contact Us. This is a direct feed into our employee chat room. This is Matt. This is Justin. This is Oleg. These guys are real live people that are in chat every day, Monday through Friday. And then we do have a separate team that's on the weekends. So there's pretty much always someone around that can answer a question for you. It's like 20 hours a day during the week, 8 hours a day on the weekends. Anytime you have questions about anything, you're welcome to reach out to us here too. And that's what those guys are there for. So do feel free to reach out to any of us. Wix Sniper, I believe. Let me see something here. Let's see. So what are we looking for? Are you looking for like price breaking through one of them? I keep seeing moving average crossover on the chart with the color in the differences. Can you show that if possible? Okay, so what I believe you're referring to, we're going to come back, 88. I'm going to come back to your question here momentarily. What I believe you're referring to is you're referring to the moving average clouds. So MA Cloud by Ripster. Is this what you mean? Something that looks like this? Actually, let me... Ashley, let me know if that's what you're talking about. If that is, there's your answer. Those are just MA clouds. And inside that indicator, yeah, cool. You can adjust the type of moving averages that you're using, SMAs, EMAs, whole weighted Wilders, etc. You can you can choose to see the moving average itself or just the cloud. So you can turn on those moving average lines using these two checkboxes here. And then the opacity of the positive and the negative color. So when they flip, depending on which one is on top, that's how you're going to get the positive or negative color, right? When the shorter term moving average is above the longer, it's going to be positive. When the longer is above the shorter, it's going to be negative. So you can adjust this to whatever you want. Now, Wix Sniper question for 88. You're looking for price breaking through the Wix Sniper on the hourly time frame. Is that right? So we're looking for indicator, hourly, Wix Sniper upper, yeah? And then price is broken through it. And then you would also want to say then that price, I guess we'll just use hourly. Close is greater than indicator Wix Sniper. Because remember what we're doing here. The only thing that you defined here, Wix Sniper price broke through it, is simply that the price broke through it. You're not defining the direction. And what you really need to do is you need to define the direction as well, right? So we've defined that price broke through it, and we've defined that price is closing above it. Price closed greater than wick sniper upper, right? And then, you know, pick your list, make sure current candle's toggled on, run the scan. And there you go. $88, you want me to save this and send it to you? Something between the 8 and the 34. So you're looking for price stuck between the 8 and the 34. Is that what you're saying, Desmond? Yeah, so Ashley, there's not a way to like one button click the reverse of your entry for your exit. You would just have to script it out. Okay, so let me do this real quick. I'm going to save this wick sniper upper breakout for my friend 88 over here. And then we're going to share this bad boy with you. Another thing that you can do, 88, that I would kind of recommend, if you have particular stocks that you like to trade, that you know you like to trade, what I would recommend is setting alerts on that upper, what do you call it? That upper line. And I'll show you how to do it. It's super simple. Desmond, I'm going to get to your question here in just a moment. So essentially you're looking for price, what, above the 8, below the 34, or vice versa? This is taking an awful long time. I'm going to refresh this. Hold on. Above the 8, below the 34. Ashley, it kind of feels like we're releasing new features all the time. Recently, the most recent thing, and I'll show you after I get done with Desmond's question here. The most recent thing that we did, here you go, 88. Here's that scan for you. The most recent thing that we did, Ashley, is we made it so that you can like really easily edit criteria in your scripting environment. So Desmond, above the 8, so very simple price, whatever your time frame is, close, greater than, indicator, whatever your time frame is, exponential, and then we would just change this to 8. And then if you want to see it above the 8, below the 34, you would just define it the opposite way for the 34. So price, time frame, close, less than, indicator, time frame, exponential, 34. Yeah, 88, no problem at all. What I would recommend, Desmond, if you run this scan, you might get lots and lots of symbols at any given time. And so what I would recommend with any scan that's like this, where you're kind of the conditions are not super complex and maybe not super hard to meet, what I would recommend is some filtering criteria. You can utilize all kinds of filtering criteria. There are no rules. But, you know, what I would say is everybody's got different ideas about the type of stocks that they want to trade. And so any more specificity you can apply to this, it's going to help you. And it could be simple stuff. It could be like only stocks above, you know, $50, or it can be only stocks that trade at least 1 million shares a day, or like these very basic things can really help filter. And when it comes to scanning, you know, it's my belief and generally our belief that you really want to filter it down as much as you can so that you're getting only results that are like actually actionable to you. So that's kind of where my head's at on it is can add with the daily 21. Yeah, sure. What do you want to define about the 21, the daily 21 EMA? You can define all kinds of things, price relative to it, those 15-minute indicators relative to it relative to itself. You know, you could define all kinds of things. So what would you say there? If a stock dropped 3% today, what was the expected return the next day? Absolutely, I'll show you. So real quickly, Desmond, what's your idea there on the daily 21? Yeah, let me go back to Tesla real quick. Kind of getting sidetracked here. 173. As close to the 21. Okay, so what you would say is daily price close within range of indicator, daily exponential 21. And then you would just define the percentage value. David, they came out. It was a miss. Yeah, so you would just define the percentage. Like this is a really good condition, actually, Desmond. This is a good condition for filtering because the tighter you get to that 21 EMA on the daily, the less likely you're going to have names meeting this criteria. So yeah, okay, so 0.75. So we can run this through whatever. So I'm just going to remove some indicators here. We want the 21. And then let's use the EMAs here. And you said the 8 and the 34. Oops. So what we could do is we could actually utilize multi-time frame on this too. So I'm going to put on MTFA and then we'll put on the daily. All right, so here's your 15-minute time frame. You've got your 15-minute cloud here. This is your 8 and your 21, or 8 and 34, prices in between it, and then price within 0.75% of your daily 21. So your 8 is this red line. It looks like, oh, here we go. No, okay, I apologize. I had this backwards. Okay, so here's your 15-minute, your 8 and your 34. Your 8 is here. Or no, your 8 is this red one. Sorry, I'm getting a little confused. Okay, the 8 is the red. The 34 is the this dark blue color. So here's your 15-minute, and then on the multi-time frame analysis, I've got my daily 21 EMA. So it looks like it just bounced off that daily 21 EMA just a few candles ago. Yeah, Desmond, no problem. So let me do this for you. 834 with 21 EMA. Call this Desmond. say save. Now, of course, please, you know, alter this however it makes sense for you. I just used an arbitrary time frame, at least as far as 15 minutes is concerned. I don't know if that's a time frame that you even use. So we'll let this thing run real quick. It's going to give me back the results, and then I'll get a link for you. And then the only thing, both 88 and Desmond, both of you guys, since I created these, you will not be able to edit them unless you make your own copy. So do make sure that you make your own copy. Here you go, Desmond. Click on that link. It's going to bring you to this page. Click login and import, and then subscribe, and then it'll be living in your shared scanner list. And I hashtagged it with your name so that it's easy for you to find. Oh, you do 15-minute. Okay, perfect. All right, so next question was from Ashley, trying to figure out the other day, if a stock dropped 3% today, what was the expected return the next day? It's an excellent thing to look into. So what I would do for that is you would want to say price. I guess you could do it a couple of different ways. You could say price open greater than price close by at least 3%. Yeah, you're welcome, Desmond. No problem at all. So this would be one way that you could script that. Price open greater than price close by at least 3%. And then, you know, what you would do on the entry or on the exit side is you would just exit a candle later. Now, keep in mind, when we run this scan or when we run this test, it's looking for a candle to close down at least 3%. You're not going to enter into this trade on that candle. You're going to enter into this trade on the open of the next candle. So then that means that you're going to exit on the open of the next candle. So technically you're not getting out of the trade the following candle. You're getting out of trade essentially 2 candles after this condition occurs. So today we close down at least 3%. Tomorrow open, we enter. The following day open, we exit. Does that make sense, Ashley? And it does require essentially the stock to have, you know, down 3% days. So like, let's look at BMY here. So here's a good example. Here is your down at least 3% day. Looks like it was 4.5%. We entered on the open of the next candle. We exit on the open of the candle that precedes it. Here's your down at least 3%. Ashley, do you want me to share this with you so that you have it? Or does this all make sense to you? Because you could, like, theoretically, you could define this the opposite way too, right? You could say price close less than price open by at least X%, right? It's saying the same thing. It's just in reverse. So, you know, the way that I like to try and explain it to folks who are new to scripting is like, try and think of the conditions that you're looking for as basically as you can possibly think of them. Like when you're defining them in your head, like for example, Desmond, you know, price is above X moving average, but below another moving average. Well, the first thing you have to say, price is greater than X, right? Moving average. The second thing you have to say is price is less than X moving average. If you can break down these ideas like into very simple little chunks, that's kind of, for me, that's how I learned how to kind of get through scripting ideas out. How is Tesla looking? Low so far, 171.62. What was that implied move number? 7.8%. They've got 6.5 of it so far. Interesting. Desmond, yeah, see, the thing is, dude, is this like opens up so much, right? And Desmond, let's take this like 5 levels deeper. Check this out. So the way that the TrendSpider platform works is the scripting is the same throughout. Like you saw me create that very basic idea for Ashley a moment ago. I can utilize this script elsewhere. So I've got the script. I wrote it in the scanner. Well, let's say I want to be alerted like when Tesla meets this criteria, right? I could do that super, super easy. If I go to script actions and I say save as template, check this out. So we'll call it 834.21 Desmond alert. I don't know, just random. Now let's say I want to be alerted when Tesla does this, when Tesla meets this criteria. Alerts and bots button, click the 3 dots, go to create multi-factor alert, and then script actions and load from template, and then type in Desmond. Here's the script I just saved. It's the exact same conditions as in the scan. Choose the script. I could say, I can call this whatever I want. I'm just giving it a title, 834.21. We choose how long it lives in the system. I'll say 70 days. And I'm going to max out the triggers. So what I'm defining is how long it's living in my system and how many times are going to be triggered, or how many times this conditions can be met and I'll be triggered. So over the next 70 days, essentially, these conditions can be met 20 unique times and I'll be alerted each time they're met. Create alert. And now that alert is living on Tesla. If I go to my alerts widget here and I add a new column, here's Tesla 834.21 alert. Right? This is going to let me know, and I'm going to get a text message. I'm going to get an email to alert me that Tesla is meeting this specific criteria whenever it's being met. So like, let's say, for example, you really love to trade this setup, and you really love to trade it on 10 names. Put this alert on all 10 names and sit back and let the platform do it. Like, let the platform just alert you when it's happening. If you got a smartwatch, like I've got a smartwatch, the alerts will come right to it. You can set up your alerts by clicking on your little person icon here, and then go to account settings, and just make sure you have a cell phone and email written here, depending on how you want to receive the alert. There's another really cool little tool. Let me show you this real quick. Called a smart checklist. It's in your widget. So here's a smart checklist, and smart checklists work off of these scripts as well. So if I go to where it says choose script and I type in Desmond, check this out. So now here's your 3 conditions that you require to be true in order to take this trade. And it's telling me right now that on the 15-minute, price is closing above the 30, it looks like maybe the 34 on the 15-minute. So the 15-minute, that one condition is true, but two of them are not. And so therefore it's not all true. Each condition has its own box. If the box is red, the condition is false. If the box is green, the condition is true. And then this bigger box, the longer one, represents the all of the following. So like it's saying, because it's red, it's telling me that not all of these are true. And that's easy enough to see. But think about this kind of in a bigger scale, right? Like if you have 20 things that you need to be true about a ticker before you're even willing to trade it. Let's say you've got a couple of moving average requirements, you've got a couple of RSI, or you got an RSI requirement, a Bollinger Band requirement, a couple of different price requirements. You know, those things can add up, and you can pop them all in here, and then you could just shuffle through a watch list like this, right? And I'm just clicking through names, and then watch the smart checklist. Like it's going to tell me very quickly. So AMGN meeting your criteria right now. AXP is not. BA is not. Right? So like think about how this can help you speed up analysis time. If you have conditions that you're looking for to be true and you're looking on, 20 names, 20 charts, and you've got 10 different conditions that you need to be true, you're zooming in, you're looking at different time frames, you're saying, yeah, okay, it's above the 200 on the daily, it's below the 50 on the hourly, it's RSI is above 50 on the hourly, but it's below 30 on the 5-minute. Like, you start getting like real specific with things, and then it can be really difficult to be looking at all that stuff on whatever names you want to be trading. So Smart Checklist is a quick way of doing that pre-analysis for you. It's like the filtering criteria I was talking about before. Whenever you're scanning, you're going to want, in theory, you would want to add some filtering criteria to make it harder to meet the criteria, make it harder for names to meet the criteria. This is a way of like visualizing that filtering criteria, whatever that may be for you. Pretty helpful, pretty impactful, pretty time saving. So yeah, that's what I got today, guys. Any last minute questions? We've gone a little over, but this has been awesome to get to like dig into some tools with you guys. My favorite thing about doing these live streams is when folks like yourselves have questions and I can answer them and make things efficient for you. And it's really kind of what it's all about. That's really our goal. The goal of the platform is to like make more efficient your analysis. Oh, you had a question. Let me see. Does TS have built-in options-based expected moves? No, we do not. I'm sorry I missed that one, Eco. That would be really dope though, like horizontal levels at implied vol moves. I'm going to be honest and tell you that I just don't know. I really don't know. Right now, a big thing is quality of life, updates and upgrades. So like I was saying to Ashley earlier, like being able to come in here and adjust these definers and things like that is pretty darn helpful. And this is a new thing. But I really don't know about because that's kind of like an additional data piece, and I just don't know. Vincent, right on, man. Haven't seen your name come up here. What's up, Tlaylock? Good to see you. Bunch of y'all here. I really, really appreciate you guys sticking around and hanging out and hopefully learning a thing or two about the platform. Maybe you guys learned something that you hadn't seen before. Yeah, so the unusual options widget. Let me show you real quick. I'll just add it here. Unusual options widget will show you the most recent 200 unusual options orders. Unusual options is anything over 25K in premium. There are these slider bars at the top, and what I always recommend, there's a little crosshairs up here in this box. If you click the crosshair, it opens up a kind of bigger view, making the slider bars bigger and easier to see. So you can filter time, right? You can filter expiry date. You can filter by premium size. You can filter by strike price. So if you have particular premium sizes that you want to be looking out for, this is going to find it for you. You can also use data flow. Data flow is a relatively new component to the platform. We launched data flow not too long ago. And what's cool about data flow is when you're on an individual name, you're looking at the options, the unusual options for that name. With data flow, you're able to very quickly see unusual options orders as they come in. So you can, and this is constantly changing throughout the day. Do keep that in mind. This thing moves fast. But you can quickly scroll through here. You can look for maybe, kind of unusual size, open interest orders and things like that. It's just another way of kind of observing that unusual options data. I'm goated. What's up? Feels good to be goated. Appreciate that. At the bid, at the ask. Yeah, so what it does, this data comes from Benzinga, and they actually have a definition. Let me grab that real quick because I had another fella ask, and I actually wasn't sure how they define it. But let me grab it real quick. Hold on. Gotta dig through here. Here we go. So they've got these bullish, bearish tags, and it says ask, put, or at ask, at midpoint, at bid, and then it'll say bearish or bullish, and that's based off of how close to the bid or the ask the order came in. Here is a breakdown. This gives you a breakdown of what those tags mean. Eco. So last minute request for likes and subscribes to the channel. If you do not already subscribe to the channel, hook me up with a subscribe. It will allow me to keep doing these things. I got to show the guys back in Mission Control that these are helpful and useful for you guys. So you guys are really in control here. If live streams like this help you and you plan to tune into more of them, give me a subscribe, give me a like, hook me up so that I can keep on doing them. I will be live again tomorrow morning, Thursday tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern time. I usually go live for about an hour in pre-market on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And again, no agenda with these live streams. It's just about being here, helping to answer questions if you guys have them. So I hope that this was helpful for y'all. I think it was. This was one of the most productive sessions that I've done yet. So I really do appreciate you guys sticking around here to the end and spending time and asking questions. I want you guys to know I'm an open book here. I want to help as much as I can. Your questions are appreciated, and that's why I'm here. I'm here to answer them. So anytime you've got questions, do tune in for these. See, there you go, Michael. This is what I'm talking about, man. I mean, the fact that you've sat in on more than one of these and you're not a TrendSpider user, but you're enjoying them, that means a ton to me. I really do appreciate it, for real. And yeah, if there's anything we could do to win your business, I would appreciate it. I've got that 35% discount code up there. If you just scroll up, it's available. I can actually link it to you one more time if you want. I'll hook you up. If you did not yet, remember the voting is still open, which is crazy. Because there are some people who voted before the announcement. But tomorrow I will be announcing the winner of the Guess the Open, Tesla Guess the Open. So if you haven't gotten your votes in, get them in now. About to close that thing down. And again, thank you guys all for hanging out with me. I do appreciate it. Michael, let me get you that code real quick because I'm going to shill it to you. Even though we ain't got you yet, we're going to get you one of these days. Let me get it real quick. I want to keep it going, Vincent. I do. I definitely do. All right, y'all. Wow, Eco. Well, heck yeah, man. I appreciate it. For real. I do really appreciate it. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in today. This has been a blast hanging out with you guys. And like I said, I will be live again tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern time, doing the same old thing. Probably going to be watching Tesla again tomorrow morning because we got to see who wins Guess the Open. And yeah, so again, final thank you to you all. It's been a pleasure. Nice meeting some of you guys. Desmond, specifically, thank you for your questions. Ashley, thank you for your questions. Eco, thank you for your questions. I hope it was helpful. I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Have a great rest of your day. Michael, take care. Slaylock, take care. Vincent, shout out Vincent. Shout out Matt, David. Who else? Low. I'm just scrolling through the names here. I don't know who else here still. 88, Chad. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Trade them well. We'll see you again real soon. All right. Bye-bye.